Welcome to the Shadows, a journey into the world of haunted hotels. Welcome, dear viewers, to another spine-chilling episode of Whispers from the Shadows, your ultimate destination for all things eerie and mysterious. If you're new here, I warmly invite you to subscribe and join our growing community of thrill seekers and ghost enthusiasts. Each week, we delve deep into the world of the supernatural, bringing you stories that will both terrify and captivate your imagination. Today, we embark on a particularly haunting journey as we explore the top 10 haunted hotels where guests never check out. These are not just any hotels, they are places where the past lingers in the corridors, the walls whisper secrets of old, and the beds hold more than just dreams. From historic landmarks to secluded retreats, these hotels have gained infamous reputations for their spectral residents who seem unwilling to vacate their eternal homes. So, grab your favorite blanket, dim the lights, and prepare yourself for an unforgettable exploration of these haunted havens. As we unfold each story, remember, sometimes checking in can mean never checking out. Let's dive into the shadows together and discover what truly lies behind the doors of these chilling accommodations. The grand legacy of the Stanley Hotel, a gateway to the supernatural nestled in the picturesque town of Estes Park, Colorado. The Stanley Hotel stands as a grand testament to early 20th century architecture, its Georgian Revival style exuding an elegance that has attracted visitors for over a century. Established by Freeland Oscar Stanley in 1909, this iconic hotel was initially conceived as a luxury retreat for the elite, offering breathtaking views of the Rocky Mountains and a serene escape from urban life. However, beneath its majestic facade and storied history lies a darker narrative that has cemented its place among the most haunted hotels in America. The Stanley Hotel's reputation as a paranormal hotspot is largely fueled by its association with Stephen King's seminal horror novel, The Shining. During a stay at the hotel in 1974, King reportedly experienced vivid nightmares inspired by the building's eerie atmosphere, which later became the foundation for his chilling tale. While the novel and its film adaptations brought widespread attention to the hotel, it is the countless accounts of ghostly encounters reported by guests and staff that truly solidify its haunted legacy. One of the most frequently recounted phenomena involves Room 217, a space immortalized in The Shining as the site of terrifying supernatural occurrences. Guests have claimed to hear phantom footsteps pacing the room late at night, while others report feeling an inexplicable presence watching them as they sleep. Some even describe waking up to find their belongings rearranged or witnessing shadowy figures moving through the corners of their vision. The room's resident spirit is said to be that of Elizabeth Wilson, a former housekeeper who tragically died after a gas explosion in the early 1900s. Her benevolent yet mischievous energy is believed to linger, ensuring that no guest leaves without experiencing her otherworldly touch. Beyond Room 217, the hotel's sprawling halls and grand ballroom are equally notorious for unexplained activity. Staff members recount hearing the faint strains of a piano playing in the empty ballroom, despite no one being present. Others speak of sudden drops in temperature, flickering lights, and the sensation of being brushed by unseen hands. One particularly unsettling story involves a maintenance worker who swore he saw a group of children dressed in vintage clothing laughing and running through the hallways before vanishing into thin air. What sets the Stanley Hotel apart from other haunted locations is not only the consistency of these reports but also the sheer volume of documented evidence. Paranormal investigators and TV crews have visited the site numerous times, capturing EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, orbs, and even apparitions on camera. Yet, perhaps the most compelling aspect of the Stanley's haunting is the way it blurs the line between fiction and reality. For many, staying at the hotel feels like stepping directly into the pages of The Shining, where the boundaries between the living and the dead dissolve into an unsettling limbo. As we continue our countdown of the top haunted hotels, the Stanley Hotel serves as a chilling reminder that some places are forever tethered to the spirits of those who once called them home. Whether drawn by curiosity, fascination, or a dare, visitors to this historic landmark quickly learn that checking in may come with an unexpected and permanent extension of their stay. The Crescent Hotel, a timeless tapestry of tragedy and terror perched atop a hill in the quaint town of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, the Crescent Hotel stands as a beacon of Victorian splendor. its limestone facade glowing softly under the moonlight. Built in 1886, this architectural masterpiece was originally designed as a luxury resort for the wealthy, offering sweeping views of the Ozark Mountains and a sanctuary of opulence. Yet beneath its elegant exterior lies a labyrinth of dark secrets and harrowing tales that have earned it the moniker America's Most Haunted Hotel. Within its hallowed halls, the echoes of tragedy reverberate, intertwining with the whispers of restless spirits who refuse to leave. The Crescent's haunted reputation is deeply rooted in its storied past, beginning with its transformation into a hospital in 1937 under the auspices of Dr. Norman Baker, a fraudulent healer and radio tycoon. Promising miracle cures for terminal illnesses, Baker preyed on desperate patients, subjecting them to bizarre treatments and outright neglect. Many of his victims succumbed to their ailments within the hospital's cold walls, leaving behind untold sorrow and unresolved anguish. Their spirits, it is said, remained trapped in the building, seeking justice or solace in a place that betrayed them. Guests and staff alike have reported countless encounters with these lingering souls. One of the most famous is the spirit of a young girl named Michael, who is often seen wandering the fourth floor, a space once used as a children's ward during Baker's tenure. Playful yet enigmatic, Michael is known to interact with visitors, tossing objects, giggling softly, or tugging at bed covers. Her presence, though unsettling, carries an air of innocence, making her one of the hotel's more endearing phantoms. However, not all entities within the Crescent are so benign. The specter of a bride clad in a flowing white gown is said to haunt the lower levels, her face etched with despair. According to legend, she leapt to her death after discovering her fiancé's infidelity on the eve of their wedding. Her anguished cries are sometimes heard echoing through the halls, a haunting reminder of love turned tragic. Meanwhile, the ghost of Dr. Baker himself is rumored to prowl the premises, his imposing figure shrouded in shadow. Former employees claim to feel his icy breath on their necks or catch glimpses of him disappearing around corners, as if still overseeing his macabre domain. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of the Crescent's hauntings is the prevalence of physical manifestations. Doors slam shut without explanation, elevators operate independently of human control, and disembodied voices murmur unintelligible phrases. Some visitors have captured photographs of translucent figures peering out of windows or standing motionless in doorways. Others recount waking up to find their beds shaking violently, as if gripped by an invisible force. These experiences leave an indelible mark on those who witness them, blurring the line between skepticism and belief. Adding to the Crescent's mystique are the recurring themes of loss and betrayal woven into its fabric. The hotel's very construction was marred by tragedy when several workers fell to their deaths during its erection, their final moments forever imprinted on the stones they helped build. Decades later, a fire tore through the structure, claiming additional lives and further saturating the property with grief. It is this accumulation of sorrow that fuels the intensity of its paranormal activity, creating an environment where the veil between worlds seems perilously thin. For those brave enough to check in, the Crescent Hotel offers far more than a night's rest. It provides a portal into a realm where the past refuses to fade. Its blend of beauty and darkness, history and mystery, makes it a magnet for ghost hunters, curious travelers, and skeptics alike. As the second stop on our journey through haunted hotels, the Crescent reminds us that some places are destined to bear the weight of their tragedies, forever haunted by the echoes of lives cut short. The Myrtles Plantation, a southern Gothic enigma tucked away amidst the lush, moss-draped oaks of St. Francisville, Louisiana, the Myrtles Plantation stands as a haunting relic of the antebellum South. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, this stately mansion was originally christened Laurel Grove, and served as a thriving plantation estate. Over 2 centuries, it has evolved from a symbol of Southern prosperity to a notorious haunt teeming with ghostly legends. Known as one of the most haunted homes in America, the Myrtles Plantation is steeped in tales of murder, betrayal, and vengeful spirits, each adding layers of dread to its already foreboding atmosphere. The plantation's sinister reputation is anchored in the tragic story of Chloe, an enslaved woman whose fate has become the stuff of local lore. According to legend, Chloe was accused of eavesdropping on private conversations within the house and, as punishment, had one of her ears cut off by her master. Consumed by resentment, Chloe allegedly poisoned a cake intended for the family, inadvertently killing 2 of the master's children. In retaliation, she was lynched on the property, her body left to dangle from an oak tree as a grim warning. Today, Chloe's ghost is said to wander the plantation grounds, her spectral form often spotted in an antique green turban, an accessory linked to her identity in life. Guests report seeing her apparition gliding through the halls, her mournful gaze fixed on the rooms where her tragic end unfolded. Yet Chloe is not the only spirit said to inhabit the Myrtles. The ghost of William Winter, a lawyer who purchased the plantation in the mid-19th century, is another prominent figure in its haunted history. Winter was shot on the front porch by a stranger whose motives remained shrouded in mystery. Dragging himself inside, he collapsed on the stairs and died in his wife's arms. His agonizing final moments are believed to have left an imprint on the staircase, where guests have reported hearing phantom footsteps ascending and descending long after the house falls silent. Some claim to feel a cold breeze emanating from the spot where Winter breathed his last, as if his restless soul continues to relive the trauma of his assassination. Otherworldly phenomena at the Myrtles extend beyond these central narratives. The plantation is plagued by inexplicable sounds, whispers that echo through empty corridors, the soft strains of a piano playing in vacant rooms, and the unmistakable clinking of glasses in the dining area. Objects move seemingly of their own accord, furniture shifts positions overnight, and mirrors fog over without cause. One particularly unnerving tale involves a mirror in the main hallway, said to contain the trapped spirits of those who perished on the property. Visitors have captured eerie reflections in its surface, shadowy figures standing where no one should be, their forms distorted yet undeniably human. Adding to the plantation's malevolent aura are the unsolved mysteries surrounding its land. Before its construction, the site was purportedly the location of a Tunica Indian burial ground, a detail that lends credence to the belief that the property is cursed. This theory gains traction when considering the high number of deaths associated with the Myrtles over the years. From violent crimes to unexplained illnesses, the plantation has borne witness to countless tragedies, each contributing to its oppressive sense of doom. Despite, or perhaps because of, its ominous reputation, the Myrtles plantation draws thousands of visitors annually, eager to test their mettle against its supernatural forces. Paranormal investigators flock to the site, armed with cameras and audio equipment, hoping to capture definitive proof of the otherworldly activity that permeates its walls. For many, the experience is transformative. Some leave shaken, their beliefs in the paranormal irrevocably altered, while others find themselves inexplicably drawn back, unable to resist the pull of its dark allure. As we venture deeper into our list of haunted hotels, the Myrtles plantation serves as a chilling reminder of how history can leave indelible scars on both land and memory. Its blend of southern charm and spectral menace creates an atmosphere unlike any other, where every creak of the floorboards and flicker of candlelight hints at the presence of those who refuse to let go of their earthly ties. Here, the past does not merely linger, it consumes. A ghost ship anchored in time floating serenely in the waters of Long Beach, California, the RMS Queen Mary cuts a striking figure against the modern skyline. Once a proud ocean liner ferrying passengers across the Atlantic in unparalleled luxury, this Art Deco marvel now serves as a floating hotel and museum. But beneath its gleaming hull and polished interiors lies a darker history, one rife with tragedy, mystery, and an abundance of ghostly tales. Dubbed the Haunted Ship, the Queen Mary has earned its reputation as one of the most paranormally active sites in the world, attracting thrill-seekers and skeptics alike to its labyrinthine corridors. Launched in 1936, the Queen Mary spent decades as a symbol of transatlantic opulence, hosting celebrities, royalty, and dignitaries in its heyday. However, during World War II, the ship was repurposed as a troop carrier, earning the nickname Grey Ghost for its stealthy voyages. It was during this period that the vessel accumulated much of its grim legacy. Overcrowded conditions, accidents, and wartime tensions led to numerous deaths aboard the ship, many of which remain shrouded in mystery. Among the most infamous incidents is the drowning of sailor John Petter, who was crushed to death in a watertight door during a routine drill in 1966. His ghost is said to haunt the engine room, where sightings of a man in blue overalls and boots have been reported by crew members and visitors alike. The engine room is far from the only hotspot of paranormal activity on the Queen Mary. First-class swimming pool left deck, long since drained and abandoned, is widely regarded as the epicenter of the ship's haunting phenomena. Witnesses describe hearing the splashes and laughter of unseen swimmers, as well as feeling cold spots and seeing apparitions of women in vintage bathing suits. Some believe these spirits belong to passengers who drowned in the pool during its operational years, their playful energies lingering despite the passage of time. Others attribute the disturbances to the emotional turmoil of wartime soldiers who sought solace in the water before being sent to battle. Another area steeped in spectral lore is Cabin B340, a first-class stateroom that has become legendary among paranormal enthusiasts. Guests staying in this room report a wide array of unexplained occurrences: lights turning on and off without explanation, furniture shifting positions, and the sensation of being watched. One particularly chilling account involves a visitor who woke up to find a man sitting at the foot of his bed, staring intently at him before vanishing into thin air. Many believe the cabin is haunted by the spirit of a former passenger who took his own life aboard the ship, his despair manifesting in these eerie manifestations. The Queen Mary's dining salons, grand ballrooms, and even its bowels are not immune to supernatural activity. Staff members recount hearing disembodied voices and footsteps echoing through empty hallways, while others claim to see shadowy figures darting out of sight. The ship's vast size and labyrinthine design only amplify its eerie atmosphere, creating an almost cinematic backdrop for ghostly encounters. One of the most spine-chilling stories comes from the ship's boiler rooms, where workers have reported hearing the sound of someone shouting, "Fire!" followed by the acrid smell of smoke, even though no fire exists. What makes the Queen Mary particularly unique among haunted locations is the sheer diversity of its ghostly inhabitants. From the playful poltergeists of the pool deck to the tormented souls of the engine room, each section of the ship seems to harbor its own distinct energy. This variety has made it a magnet for paranormal researchers and television crews, who have conducted numerous investigations aboard the vessel. Equipment malfunctions, EVP recordings, and inexplicable temperature drops are common findings, further fueling the ship's reputation as a paranormal powerhouse. Yet, for all its spectral intrigue, the Queen Mary remains a place of undeniable beauty and historical significance. Its haunted halls serve as a poignant reminder of the lives lost and the stories left untold within its walls. For those daring enough to book a stay or take a guided tour, the Queen Mary offers an unparalleled opportunity to step into a world where the past and present collide, a world where checking in might mean never truly checking out. The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. Glamour meets the supernatural. Nestled in the heart of Los Angeles, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel stands as a glittering monument to the golden age of cinema. Since its grand opening in 1927, this iconic establishment has played host to Hollywood's elite, serving as a backdrop for star-studded galas, film premieres, and countless moments of cinematic history. Designed in the Spanish colonial revival style, its elegant courtyards, opulent suites, and famed Tropicana pool evoke a sense of timeless glamour. Yet beneath its polished veneer lies a darker narrative, one steeped in mystery, tragedy, and whispers of the supernatural. For decades, the Roosevelt has been a magnet for ghost hunters and curious travelers alike, its haunted reputation earning it a place among the most enigmatic hotels in the world. The hotel's spectral legacy begins with Marilyn Monroe, arguably the most enduring of its ghostly residents. Legend has it that Monroe stayed in Suite 1200 during the early days of her career, using the suite's full-length mirror to perfect her image. Though she eventually achieved superstardom, her time at the Roosevelt was marked by struggle and self-doubt. Today, guests and staff claim to catch glimpses of her reflection in the same mirror, her ethereal form hovering silently before vanishing into thin air. Some even report hearing the faint rustle of silk or the click of high heels in the hallway outside the suite, as if Monroe is still rehearsing for her next role. Monroe is not the only celebrity spirit said to haunt the Roosevelt. Montgomery Clift, the brooding actor best known for his role in A Place in the Sun, reportedly resides in room 928. Clift spent months holed up in the room preparing for his part in the 1953 film From Here to Eternity, practicing his lines and enduring grueling hours of rehearsal. His dedication came at a cost. He suffered a nervous breakdown shortly after completing the project. Guests staying in room 928 have described hearing a man's voice reciting lines late at night, along with the sound of pacing footsteps that cease abruptly when investigated. On occasion, the scent of cigarette smoke wafts through the air, though smoking has been prohibited in the hotel for decades. Beyond the famous faces, the Roosevelt harbors a host of lesser-known yet equally intriguing spirits. One of the most chilling tales involves the hotel's basement, which once housed a makeshift morgue following the tragic crash of a small plane into a nearby school in 1949. Several victims of the disaster were temporarily stored there, their bodies awaiting identification. Employees working in the area have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness, accompanied by the sensation of being touched or brushed by unseen hands. Cold spots and disembodied whispers are also common, lending credence to the belief that the spirits of the deceased remain trapped in the subterranean depths. The Roosevelt's public spaces are no less haunted. The Tropicana Pool, a favorite gathering spot for Hollywood luminaries in the 1930s and 40s, is said to be frequented by a playful poltergeist. Lifeguards and pool staff recount chairs being moved inexplicably, towels tossed into the water, and the sound of laughter echoing across the tiled surfaces long after closing hours. Similarly, the hotel's famous Blossom Ballroom, where the first Academy Awards ceremony was held in 1929, is believed to host the ghosts of dancers from its speakeasy days. Patrons have reported seeing shadowy figures waltzing under the chandeliers or hearing the faint strains of jazz music drifting through the air. What sets the Hollywood Roosevelt apart from other haunted hotels is the seamless blend of luxury and eeriness. Its rich history and architectural splendor create an atmosphere where the mundane and the supernatural coexist harmoniously. For those who dare to check in, the Roosevelt offers more than just a glimpse into Hollywood's glamorous past. It provides a portal into a world where the line between reality and the paranormal blurs. Whether drawn by curiosity or the allure of celebrity ghosts, visitors soon discover that the hotel's charms extend far beyond its gilded facade. Here, the echoes of fame and tragedy intertwine, ensuring that the spirits of the past remain ever present. The Omni Parker House, Boston's literary haunting ground in the heart of Boston's historic district, the Omni Parker House stands as a testament to the city's rich cultural heritage. Opened in 1855, this venerable hotel has hosted presidents, authors, and luminaries, becoming a cornerstone of American literary history. Its storied past includes connections to literary giants such as Charles Dickens and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, who once gathered in its hallowed halls to exchange ideas and inspiration. Yet beneath its genteel exterior lies a darker narrative, one steeped in tragedy, mystery, and the supernatural. The Omni Parker House has long been whispered about as one of New England's most haunted locations, its corridors and rooms alive with the echoes of the past. Among the most famous ghostly residents of the Parker House is the spirit of Harvey Parker, the hotel's founder. Known for his meticulous attention to detail and unwavering dedication to hospitality, Parker is said to remain tethered to the establishment he built. Staff members recount seeing a distinguished gentleman in a bowler hat roaming the third and fourth floors, areas where Parker's personal quarters were located during his lifetime. He is often spotted inspecting the premises, his expression stern and focused, as if ensuring that his legacy of excellence endures. Some claim to feel his presence lingering in the hallways, a subtle reminder of his watchful eye over the hotel. The Parker House's haunted reputation extends beyond its founder to include the tragic tale of a young maid who worked in the early 20th century. According to legend, she fell to her death while cleaning one of the upper floor windows, her demise attributed to either an accident or a deliberate act. Her ghost is said to haunt room 303, where guests report hearing faint sobs and the sound of glass shattering without explanation. Others describe seeing a shadowy figure in a maid's uniform flitting through the halls, her movements hurried and purposeful, as if she is still attending to her duties. The room itself is often avoided by staff, who cite an oppressive atmosphere and a feeling of being watched. Adding to the hotel's spectral allure is its connection to the literary world. Charles Dickens famously stayed at the Parker House during his 1867 to 1868 reading tour of America, and it was here that he completed portions of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Guests and employees alike claimed to have encountered Dickens' ghost in the library or lounge areas, his presence marked by the scent of ink and parchment. Some even report seeing books rearranged on shelves or finding handwritten notes tucked into volumes, as if the author himself is continuing his work from beyond the grave. Similarly, the spirit of poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow is said to linger in the dining room, where he often dined with fellow members of the Saturday Club. Patrons have described hearing the soft murmur of conversation or catching glimpses of a distinguished figure seated at a corner table, his gaze lost in thought. The Driscoll Hotel, a Texas icon steeped in ghostly legends rising majestically in the heart of Austin, Texas, the Driscoll Hotel stands as a crown jewel of Southern hospitality and architectural grandeur. Built in 1886 by cattle baron Jesse Lincoln Driscoll, this Romanesque revival masterpiece was envisioned as a monument to wealth and refinement, a place where the elite could gather amidst opulent surroundings. With its soaring ceilings, intricate woodwork, and lavish interiors, the Driscoll quickly became a hub for politicians, socialites, and artists, cementing its status as one of Texas's most iconic landmarks. Yet behind its ornate facade lies a tapestry of tragedy and mystery, woven with threads of ghostly encounters that have earned it a reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in America. The Driscoll's haunted legacy begins with its founder, Jesse Driscoll himself. After pouring his fortune into the hotel's construction, Driscoll faced financial ruin when a post-Civil War economic downturn devastated his cattle empire. Devastated by his losses, he allegedly sold the hotel for a fraction of its worth and retreated into obscurity, his dreams shattered. On Christmas Day in 1890, Driscoll was found dead in a modest boarding house, his passing attributed to a broken heart. Many believe his spirit returned to the hotel he loved, and sightings of a well-dressed man resembling Driscoll have been reported throughout the years. Employees and guests describe encountering a figure in a bowler hat pacing the lobby or gazing wistfully at the grand staircase, as if mourning the loss of his cherished creation. One of the most harrowing tales associated with the Driscoll involves Room 525, a space infamous for its tragic history. In 1931, a newlywed bride checked into the room with her husband, only to discover that he had abandoned her shortly after their arrival. Overwhelmed by despair, she took her own life in the bathtub, leaving behind a haunting legacy. Guests staying in room 525 have reported hearing the sound of running water late at night, even when no faucets are turned on. Others described feeling an icy chill in the air or seeing the faint outline of a woman in a wedding dress reflected in the bathroom mirror. Her sorrowful presence is said to permeate the room, a constant reminder of love gone awry. The Fairmont Banff Springs, majestic beauty veiled in mystery nestled amidst the breathtaking Canadian Rockies, the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel stands as a testament to architectural brilliance and natural splendor. Known affectionately as the Castle in the Rockies, this sprawling chateau-style resort was constructed in 1888 by the Canadian Pacific Railway to attract affluent travelers to the region's pristine wilderness. Its towering spires, rugged stone facade, and panoramic views of the surrounding mountains make it one of the most iconic hotels in the world. Yet beneath its regal exterior lies a labyrinth of ghostly legends, each adding an air of mystery to its already enchanting ambience. The hotel's haunted reputation is intertwined with its storied past, beginning with the tragic death of Sam Macaulay, a bellman who worked at the Banff Springs during its early years. In 1909, Macaulay was killed in a fire that broke out in the south wing of the hotel. Despite the passage of time, his spirit is said to remain, faithfully continuing his duties as if bound to the establishment by an unbreakable vow. Guests and staff alike have reported seeing a man in a crisp uniform carrying luggage through the halls, only for him to vanish when approached. Some even claim to hear the faint jingle of keys or the rhythmic tapping of shoes on the marble floors, a spectral reminder of Macaulay's unwavering dedication. Another chilling tale centers around room 873, a space infamous for its unsettling energy. According to legend, a family staying in the room experienced a series of bizarre occurrences, including flickering lights, disembodied whispers, and the sensation of being watched. When they requested to change rooms, the staff discovered that the previous occupant, a woman traveling alone, had mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Though no definitive explanation has been found, Room 873 remains a focal point of paranormal activity, with reports of cold spots, shadowy figures, and inexplicable noises continuing to this day. The Banff Springs Grand Ballroom, once the site of lavish parties and elegant soirees, is also reputed to be haunted. Employees recount hearing the faint strains of orchestral music drifting through the empty hall, as if the ghosts of dancers from a bygone era are still waltzing under the crystal chandeliers. On occasion, guests have reported seeing couples in vintage attire twirling across the floor, their movements graceful yet ephemeral, vanishing into thin air when observed closely. The ballroom's ethereal atmosphere is further enhanced by sudden temperature fluctuations and the feeling of being brushed by unseen hands. The historic Stanley Hotel, a beacon of horror and pop culture. No list of haunted hotels would be complete without revisiting the Stanley Hotel, a cornerstone of both horror lore and popular culture. Nestled in the serene yet eerie town of Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley stands as a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and its ability to transform real-world locations into icons of fear. Its association with Stephen King's The Shining has not only immortalized it in the annals of horror literature, but also cemented its status as a pilgrimage site for fans of the genre. This convergence of fact and fiction has created a unique phenomenon where the Stanley's haunted reputation transcends mere anecdotal evidence, becoming a cultural touchstone that continues to captivate audiences worldwide. The Stanley's influence on pop culture is perhaps most evident in its role as the inspiration for the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. During a stay at the hotel in 1974, Stephen King was struck by its isolated grandeur and the unsettling quiet that enveloped the property during the off-season. These elements, combined with his vivid nightmares, formed the foundation for one of the most iconic horror novels of all time. The 1980 film adaptation, directed by Stanley Kubrick, further amplified the Stanley's notoriety, albeit with a fictionalized depiction of the building. While the movie did not feature the actual hotel, its labyrinthine hallways and snowbound isolation were heavily influenced by King's descriptions, which were in turn inspired by the Stanley. This layered connection between reality and fiction has made the Stanley a magnet for fans eager to immerse themselves in the world of The Shining. The hotel has embraced its legendary status with open arms, capitalizing on its cultural relevance to attract visitors from around the globe. Guided ghost tours, themed events, and even a dedicated horror film festival have become staples of the Stanley's offerings, drawing in both horror enthusiasts and casual tourists. The infamous Room 217, immortalized in The Shining, remains one of the most sought-after accommodations, despite, or perhaps because of, the countless reports of paranormal activity associated with it. Guests clamor for the chance to spend a night in the room, hoping to catch a glimpse of Elizabeth Wilson's benevolent yet mischievous spirit or experience the inexplicable phenomena that have become synonymous with the space. The Stanley's willingness to lean into its haunted reputation has not only preserved its legacy but also ensured its continued relevance in an ever-evolving cultural landscape. Moreover, the Stanley's impact extends beyond literature and film into the realm of television and digital media. Countless paranormal investigation shows, including Ghost Hunters and Most Haunted, have featured the hotel, documenting its spectral activity and amplifying its mystique. These programs often highlight the eerie parallels between the hotel's real-life hauntings and the fictional horrors depicted in The Shining, creating a feedback loop that reinforces its status as a haunted icon. Social media platforms have further amplified this effect, with visitors sharing their own ghostly encounters and viral videos capturing unexplained phenomena. The Stanley's presence in pop culture has thus evolved into a self-sustaining cycle, where each new retelling or reinterpretation adds depth to its haunted narrative. The enduring allure of haunted hotels as we draw the curtains on our journey through the top 10 haunted hotels where guests never check out. One truth becomes abundantly clear: these establishments are far more than mere buildings. They are living chronicles of human history, imbued with the joys, sorrows, and mysteries of those who once walked their halls. From the grandeur of the Stanley Hotel to the spectral elegance of the Fairmont Banff Springs, each of these haunted hotels tells a story that transcends time, inviting us to peer into the shadows of the past and confront the unknown. Their haunted reputations are not merely the result of isolated incidents or fleeting rumors. They are the culmination of centuries of lived experiences, tragedies, and unexplained phenomena that continue to captivate our imaginations. The psychological allure of haunted hotels lies in their ability to tap into our deepest fears and curiosities. Humans have an innate fascination with the boundary between life and death, a threshold that these hotels seem to straddle effortlessly. For many, the idea of encountering a ghost or witnessing the unexplainable is both thrilling and unsettling, evoking a primal response that oscillates between fear and wonder. This delicate balance keeps us coming back, drawn by the promise of experiencing something beyond the ordinary. Whether it's the chilling tales of betrayal and loss at the Myrtles plantation or the lingering presence of literary legends at the Omni Parker house, these stories resonate because they remind us of our own mortality and,